Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, a branch here in Chicago. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work, and to the few akwaf that are listening and learning. And today, a couple hours ago, just getting in preparation for camp, I was listening to a bunch of edifying videos, listening to different brothers' videos, apostles and elders, and just informational videos, and I just started writing down bullet points. All right, and you know, I'm gonna call these things out, and whatever scripture comes to your mind. All right, because I had a couple in mind myself, but yeah, I started writing down these bullet points, you know, on subjects and things to talk about at camp, to edify with, and as I began writing, a lot of scriptures popped in my head, so I'm gonna share something with you. And one of the things is that America is finished, so that's what we're gonna call it. America is wrapping it up, it's circling the drain, you know, because and one of the reasons being that America doesn't export almost nothing. The only thing America exports is guns, death. That's it. America sells arms to its proxy armies, right? So there's proxy armies could do dirt for it, right? So that America doesn't look guilty or dirty. All right, he better be a man of the Lord, which I doubt it. But that's all America does, man. All right, that's the one thing that it exports is guns. Just like it supplies guns to certain neighborhoods. All right, and matter of fact, I'm jumping ahead of myself. We're gonna talk about that later. But first scripture, whatever you got, and then get Daniel 8:25.
This is the book of Daniel 8:25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand against the prince of princes.
And that's exactly what Esau does, man. You know, he's known for pushing democracy, and what people don't like to acknowledge is that democracy is spread through violence, man. It just is. All right, it's in the average American can't. Well, I won't say the average American, but most Americans can't seem to get that through their head, man. All right, democracy is spread with extreme violence. All right, there's a democracy grenade. Democracy, you're free.
Democracy grenade.
Democracy, you're free, right? As they blowing up, killing people, and taking shit. That's what they do, man. And what do? They supply a proxy army. Yep. All right, they'll supply a proxy army and give them some weird name. Yeah. And that army been trained by the CIA, you know, like right. We want like what Christopher Green used to call Al Qaeda, CIA or whatever he used to call it. Wow. And then ISIS, Israeli Secret Intelligence Services, you know, and that whole sort of thing. But yeah, through peace they will destroy many, man, and that's one of the many ways they do it. They supply proxy armies with lots of weapons, drugs, or whatever they need in order to disrupt governments, so that they can come and throw the democracy grenade, bring in the soldiers, and bring in the Starbucks and the Target and the McDonald's and I can't even say the greenback anymore. Now they bring it in the digital currency. Yep. All right, to make sure, and that's the reason why America has armies in so many other people's lands and countries, is so that they can ensure that their currency is used in those countries. All right, so let me go to the next point. And the next point is that there are more guns, and matter of fact, just adding to that what I was talking about, there are more guns in America than there are citizens. All right? And then they're so quick to put on the news, you know, these things that are happening in different bad neighborhoods, but they never talk about is how those guns get there. That part of the story is never talked about or explained. All right, they never talk about that part.
Right, they got like high-level military guns.
Yeah,
you don't even buy those in the gun store.
And you can't even get them in a gun store. And then you got these young teenagers They got no credit, barely even got a damn ID, walking around with and look at the culture appropriation. Esau sagging and smoking the skunk weed.
Spliffies.
You know? Esau pathetic, man. Everybody want to be Jake, but don't really want to be Jake, you know? Right, they just hooked up with their homies. Sagging and smoking a spliff. All right? Another thing, too. I was listening to Kapataza on one of his videos, and the video was very edifying, and it talked about, and the whole opioid thing was brought up, all right? And that's all Afghanistan was about. Because there's two things that, you know, they got that 20-year period. America's had 20 years of opioid addictions. And what happened a little over 20 years ago, around 20 years ago, 9/11 happened, all right? And then they gave them license to go over into that part of the world and commandeer different parts, you know, and they got control over those opioid fields. And Afghanistan had nothing to do with 9/11 at all right? As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, wasn't most of the so-called terrorists from Egypt? Yeah, I think they were, most of them were, or Saudi nationals actually. They were, most of them were from Saudi Arabia and Egypt, but yet they attacked, what's the place they attacked was Saddam Hussein.
Iraq.
They attacked Iraq. So the majority of the terrorists were from Saudi Arabia, but they attacked Iraq. And then heightened the war and set troops up in Afghanistan. You know? That's like knocking on your door and slapping your next door neighbor, all right? For some shit that happened at your house. They can't even understand why you here, let alone why you slapping the hell out of me. I had nothing to do with what happened to you.
It was like they're looking for Osama bin Laden, but then they said the weapons of mass destruction was Saddam Hussein.
Right.
Some shit like
that. So
anyway,
what they had to do was they had to vilify. So, and how did they vilify? Via their media, man. All right? The same way they got people all bugged out now with the media lying to people, and then if you say it's lying, they're looking at you like you crazy. All right? But yet, that's a very powerful tool. Matter of fact, that's no more powerful tool than the control of information. Because you can control the information, and you can control how people think by what you broadcast to them day in and day out. And they don't. And the average American doesn't have the sense to think for themselves or question things. They don't question anything. All right, they'll tell you that up is down and down is up, and they will accept it. And you know that the sky is down now, right?
Elder, may I add? You know, it was a TikTok video actually. This Edomite woman. I believe I seen your video on it. How she was basically talking about John Rockefeller. You know, was basically.
Oh yeah.
Using different things, you know, to like basically, as she was, you know, basically saying.
Was a couple things that he did. All right. One thing that J.D. Rockefeller did was that he was the one that really pushed for this whole science over you know, the science over medicine, and made science medicine instead of actual medicine. He pushed for that way back then. And what he did was that he was an oil tycoon, and what J.D. Rockefeller did was he started pushing the oil-based medicine. Yep. All right, and what he did he gave millions of dollars to the American Medical Association. That's what he did. All right, so once he gave donated that money, that gave him. Then all of a sudden he was like, well, he had influence, so he decided, look, you need to reprint or print out all these natural remedies and all these remedies that doctors have been using for thousands of years. All right, healing people with different foods and things of that nature, different tinctures and different things that our people would use to heal and fix themselves. All right, because the scriptures clearly tell you that the leaf was for meat. All right, I think that's in Ecclesiastes 47, or Ezekiel 47 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, somebody look that up real quick.
I got something real quick.
Whatever, you know. But yeah, I think, go ahead, brother.
2 Thessalonians 2:7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And the mystery of iniquities, Esau, Edom, during the time of Paul, they were at work as the Romans, all right, and they only got a time period to rule. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which we're doing that right now through this word, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
And lying wonders, man. Like you said, pushing science over medicine, or pseudoscience, false science, man. Because there's real science and then there's fake science. All right. But nevertheless, going back to J.D. Rockefeller, so after he had influence over the AMA, about 10 years later, or any doctor that opposed him lost their license or got locked up. So about 10 years later, after evidence surfaced that people were actually getting sick from this oil-based or this petroleum-based medicines, he actually started and funded the American Cancer Association to make it appear as if he was trying to help people, but what he was really doing was burying the evidence. So he started the American Cancer Association, and he also bought out some of the mainstream media at the time to make sure that they printed things in his favor. So having control over the media and over information is nothing new. I mean, that goes all the way back to Rome. Well, when you watched, my son used to play Assassin's Creed, and and I was wooed by the special effects and the free world thing.
Yeah, that's raw.
And I used to watch him play it, and I remember he would go into the plaza, and there'd be a herald out there, hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah.
And then he would be giving the news to the people.
Yeah.
All right, who's the outlaw and the news and by decree of the king or the decree of the duke of so and so, and then you could watch as he would go up and pay the herald, and the herald would change the story.
Yeah.
And right away I'm like, damn, that's the shit the media does, man.
Or you get to kill him too.
You can kill him. And right, if he's telling the truth on you, or he's talking about the outlaw so and so, and you don't want people to know about it, they will just take him out. All right, but the control of information, but the control of information is nothing new, man. All right, nothing new at all. And so basically, that's what J.D. Rockefeller did. He did the same thing. So what has changed since 60, 70 years ago to now? Nothing. It's the same thing, man. If you control information, you control what people think and believe. And that's why these people are so brainwashed and believe in all these bullshit lies, man. Because they don't have the sense to add up. The TV tell them that 1 + 1 is 3, and they believe it.
They don't
all right?
research.
The average American is dumb as hell, man. We're the laughing stock of the world, man. It's true, bro. It's true. You should agree with it, because it's absolutely true. Well, go ahead, brother. What you got?
This 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get advantage of us.
And Satan is a man, by the way. We're talking about a people, an adversary, a human adversary. All right, but go ahead.
For we are not ignorant of his devices.
We're not ignorant of his devices, man. And he's getting so sloppy, he's putting the device right in front of you. And people still believe the lies, man.
Yep. Yeah.
He's like showing you the answers to the test before, and then people still fail it, man.
That's what's her name? Hillary Clinton. She was like, we're losing the information age.
We're losing the information war, right?
And
Hillary Clinton.
Right, yeah, because
when you go to expose her, she put a hit on your ass.
Yeah, but we're living in the information age. You can look anything up. You can damn near look up how to do an oil car in your own damn car. Yep. You could look up how to
they even put the patents up.
Yeah.
There are diseases on the books, all right? And some of these diseases that people have actually have patents. So what is that telling you? Somebody created it in a lab, man, like a lot of other things.
Wow.
All right, when you start looking up diseases and these diseases have patents on it, if they don't set off a damn red flag.
That's my germ. I own that germ.
Right. Then they got the so-called remedy or the so-called solution to the problem which they created. Like you say, playing both sides, funding both sides, spreading democracy.
That democracy bomb.
Changing the order of things. That's changing devices.
That's a grenade with democracy on it. Democracy. You're right, you kill a whole damn family. And now that's an excuse for them to move in, bring in troops, and do this, that, and the other, change policy.
Problem, action, solution.
Problem, action, solution. Correct, brother.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so if it's wickedness. Or you have people like Dr. Fauci, you know, Bill Gates. Bill Gates himself said he wanted to block out the sun.
And as a matter of fact, speaking of Bill Gates and Prince Philip just got brought up on charges for sex trafficking with minors, but then all they talk about is R. Kelly.
Yeah, they brought
All of
him
a sudden,
up. Yeah.
nobody's talking about Bill Gates and Prince Philip with this child pornography and sex trafficking of youngsters and minors. But all of a sudden, in the midst of all this, R. Kelly's back in the headlines again. All right, because the media is set up to be against the so-called black man, man. Anytime these Edomites are exposed, all right, anytime their crimes are being shown or brought to the front, they got to throw up a so-called black face or a Latin face as a distraction story.
Not too long ago, they re-brought up Michael Jackson, and his ass been dead.
Right.
They re-brought his ass back up.
He did. He can't even defend himself. You know, he can't do a tweet or nothing.
Right.
You know?
I got a precept going into the herbs and the medicines. This is Ecclesiasticus 38:4. It says, Yahweh had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
Right. And so, like you said, when J.D. Rockefeller basically got control over the American Medical Association, he made sure that in their textbooks, all those remedies that doctors use simply with diet, okay? Because even when I got sick, when my blood pressure went up, my nurse was like, "Dude, you muscular and fit. Why you shouldn't even be here." He said, "All you gotta do is change your diet." He said, "You either keep taking this medicine," because he looking over his shoulder to make sure the diets ain't the doctors aren't around. Right. Shalom, Yaquah. What's up, mighty man? Shalom, brother. Yabashima Shabakatah. He's like, "You shouldn't even be here, man." And he was like, "Look," he said, "Look, you can either keep taking this medicine, or you can just start drinking a half a gallon to a gallon of water every day, and change your diet and stay away from anything processed." It's really simple, man. Yeah. Did anybody get that? It was in Ezekiel 47:2. They talked about the leaf for the healing, I believe. I think it was Ezekiel.
I got one
16,
real.
Something like that.
I got one real quick.
Go ahead, brother. Or 47:12, maybe.
In Genesis 1:29, and power said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." So the herbs was meant to be eaten, you know?
To heal and fix you. Yeah, I got it. There, this is Ezekiel 47:12. It was 12. It says, "And by the river upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat." All right? So the trees got sap. Sometimes the leaves, the roots can be used to heal and fix you. And you had a lot of doctors and a lot of healers that were doing that. Another thing that happened, going back about 7-8 years ago, you remember all those holistic doctors just started dying all over the place. Then all of a sudden, the world got hit with everybody wearing masks, you know? All right? And it says, "Whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to as much, because their waters they issue out of the sanctuary, and the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine."
Perfect.
All right? So there it is, man. But then, you know, now all of a sudden, that's why they want to get rid of the Bible, man. Because they're also giving religious exemptions on certain, against the Vanessa venom. They're giving religious exemptions, but some of the people are trying to come against it. But yet you got but they got files and documentations for some people to come with a religious exemption. But like I said, they're trying to get rid of the Bible, man. They want the Bible done away with. All right? Why? Because it's the only true book for that, that really tells the truth and gives you the prophecies of what's to come. And he can't have that.
Shit, that's why they got rid of Dr. Sebi. Because he was a natural healer. Yeah. And then that dude, that rapper Nipsey Hussle, he came up on one of those radio shows and he brought up Dr. Sebi talking about how he's gonna do a documentary, and he even talked about we're eating all the wrong foods.
Yeah.
And he brought up all the key points, and he was working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi.
And then all of a sudden he ended up dead.
And he dead.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying the reason why he's dead is because he brought that up.
And yeah, that documentary, yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't know if you remember that one singer from TLC, Left Eye.
Yeah.
She got into that accident. Well, really, she visited Dr. Sebi and she did a whole
She
cleansing
talked
with
about
him.
it. She talked about how he cleansed and healed her of some stuff too. So yeah, man.
And she was gonna do a documentary on it, and they ended up whacking her.
She ended up dead too. So there you go, man.
I got a precept.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? Are his hidden things sought up? Through the men of the Lord, we basically exposing his medical system. Basically they, give people, things called, medication to not heal the people, but what? Just get them
Addiction. And that's what the whole opioids was about. And look, and now you had an opioid epidemic that's actually still going. It never stopped. The pandemic actually covered up or disguised or put the pandemic on a back burner, but it never went away. And as a matter of fact, drug use went up. All right, so long story short, man, they can't cut off Afghanistan and cut them off because they're gonna have to eventually keep troops there because they'll lose control over those opioid fields. All right, and the biggest money-making thing on the planet is drugs, and most of the drugs are opioid-based. All right, point blank, period. All right, and in America, opioid problem started with Afghanistan. So you look at all the issues going on in the world. 9/11 happened, and then all of a sudden, all this legislation got passed. What was it called? The act, the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act, right? So you had the Patriot Act that came about. What's up, Red? All right, and then after you had the Patriot Act, that thing kicked into play, and then after that you have the Afghanistan thing. So now you have the control over the opioids. So you had an opioid problem here in America, all right, which affected the main people that it messed up and destroyed was white people. They were the main ones that got hit by it, which is the reason, and that's why they instead of them getting treated the same way that Jake did because crack cocaine was created in the laboratory too, but it carried a different penalty for being caught with it, all right, or being using it, because these opioid addicts, these fentanyl people hooked on fentanyl, they get all sort of aid and help. The people that were caught on crack just got locked up. Wow. That was a huge difference, all right. And so it's just so many economies that have been destroyed or built up based upon this whole opioid thing, man. Yep. All over those control over those poppy fields, man. Yep. And then they also were to take some of that money too, and they were able to fund some of those proxy armies. Go ahead.
It is Ecclesiasticus 10 and verse 10. No, 10. Yep. 10 verse 10. It says, the physician cutteth off a long disease. Yep. And who is the physician? Yahweh Shai. That's why the Elder Malcolm mentioned, man. That's why they want to get rid of this Bible. That's why they wanted to do away with Yahweh Shai, because when he came, the word was made flesh. When he came, he upbraided their teaching, man, and he rebuked them for their wickedness, man, and for the things that they was doing, which was contrary to the scriptures, man. Taking the foundations which the Lord had made and laid and perverted.
Yeah, that's true.
And Yahweh Shai was rebuking them on all levels for that. And the men today, and Yahweh Shai is that physician. He cutting off the disease. And
man. you know, nothing really's changed, because when the Lord came on the scene, when Jake was in Greece and Rome, Guess what was prevalent in Greece and Rome? The use of opioids. There's nothing new under the sun, man. They were using drugs back then that were opioid based.
Yep.
Now, if you watch Spartacus, they will show you that.
Yep.
All right. If you remember the scene in the 300 when they gave the psychosis drugs that made the girl start dancing. Right.
Oh, yeah.
They were using drugs, so it's nothing new. It's like psychotic, hallucinative drugs, man. So it's nothing new under the sun. When you watch Conan the Barbarian, he said it's better not be remember they were both high as hell when he knocked out the camel, and he was like, "You too big to be a thief." That scene, because they ate something and they both got high. They ate some kind of mushrooms. So this drug use thing, there's nothing new under the sun, man.
Psychedelics.
Right. That shit to make you hallucinate and shit.
Yep. And it says, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. And who's the king? Who's the mini god of this world, man? Who's blinding the people? Who's deceiving the people, man? Esau, Edom, and that's why the elder mentioned, man. Hey, his kingdom is finished, man. He got bounds which he can't pass, as the scripture's written. All your tricks, your trickeries, your wiles, that's not working. Your devices will not prosper, man.
His skirt is
because
raised.
Yahweh cutting that off, man.
He been made bare. You seen Conan the Barbarian? You seen it? Well, that's y'all homework assignment. That's a must-see movie because you're gonna see how a lot of things in that movie relate to Jake and make it relate to certain things that are going on. That's a must-see movie, man. Plus, it gets you in that warrior mind state. Because all through that movie, the royal mentality is displayed, like that royal mentality that people that are in power have over people that are beneath them. All right. So because Esau is the basis of man, but he got a royal mentality that's on 10. He's the lowest of low, but yet his royal mentality is like, I am shit, but I am royal shit. You know, that's his mindset.
As the scriptures say, they're going to inherently look upon him and say, "Is this the man?"
Right. Con.
I actually got
And that's the problem with Jake, man. They don't want to embrace their greatness, but these Edomites, man, these white people, they embrace. They have a royal mentality, man. They have this mentality that they are better than you, that you're beneath them, and our people can't seem to embrace that. Even though everything that they have, we made great. All right.
Especially a lot of the older generation of the Edomites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can see that like from a mile away that they carry themselves in a certain posture, a certain demeanor.
These young guys are walking around with white guilt because of the information age. But the old timers ain't trying to hear it.
They know what it is.
Right. They're like, no, fuck all the information. This is what it is. Right. Right, or I like to say critical. I have a whole channel called Critical Race History. As a matter of fact, I'm due to put up 2 videos on it. I try to do at least 2 or 3 a week on that channel alone. All right.
This is Job chapter 13, verse 4. It says, "But ye are forges of lies, ye are physicians of no value." Just back what the brother was going into, with all these medicines, you know what I'm saying? They're basically drugs, man, like the elder was saying. Cocaine was created in the lab, but a lot of these so-called
crack
medicines,
cocaine.
Like crack cocaine was created in the lab, but a lot of these medicines that these people take nowadays to try to heal their bodies and whatnot, a lot of that is created in the lab or with different chemicals, different drugs.
It's all petroleum based,
Yep.
right? Because what's real hot, Tylenol with codeine. So most of the drugs that are used in America are full of drugs, man. So Esau's making money both ways because he's making money with the drugs illegally and illegal. He's making drugs from both sides, man. Yeah. And then if you move drugs on the streets, now what you're doing is he's able to create the economy of his corrupt justice system. So now you fill up his prisons and keep all the stockholders in the private prisons happy. All right. Speaking of which, I'm gonna call out a couple more of these bullet points, and then whatever scriptures come to your mind. So it says, what did I write down? Oh yeah, how Esau squanders America is a fallen nation because it squanders its resources. All right, because most of the money is spent on military. All right, why? So that like I was talking about earlier, because you got 800 military bases around the earth. You got all the deep underground bunkers, the dumps. Okay, and then, and not only that, you these, like I said, all these military bases were put in all these places to keep people in check, to ensure through force that you're going to use our currency. And that's why the U.S. military were spread out like that. And now they're also being spread out in America to prepare for the collapse. All right? And it just so happened that we still got bases in different places throughout Europe that are basically to keep Russia and China in check. But is that really going to work? Because Russia and China got contingency plans, and now Russia and China got missiles and bases and ships in South America and in Cuba. All right. So the drums of war is being whatever y'all got.
This is the book of Malachi 1 and 4.
Somebody should get half a good too. He never keep it at home by the bases.
This is the book of Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build in desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. Yeah, because wherever Esau, Edom go, as the elder put it, they establish different bases, in these different lands. They change the ways of the people, different things like that. And the people, again, against whom the Lord had indignation forever. Yeah, because as the Bible put it, Esau, Edom has no place of repentance.
Yeah, that's Hebrews, the 12th chapter. That's right. All right. Yeah, he has no matter how much he begs and cries, he has no place of repentance. And he can't have either one of those.
I got the Habakkuk for you.
Go ahead, brother.
It's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up in him. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. It says, but the just shall live by faith. It says, verse 5, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlarges his desire is hell, and is his death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
And that's what he does, man. He sets his army up. He never keeps it home. He sets his military up in these different places. He brings his democracy. And what comes with democracy? Well, all we've been seeing is cleavage and cheeks and booty cheeks and cleavage and men all effeminate. That's another thing that comes with the democracy grenade. So the democracy grenade is delivered with violence, and then after the death and blood, then the restructure of your infrastructure. After the restructure of your infrastructure to where it's supporting theirs, then all of a sudden your daughter is walking around with her titties out, with her booty cheeks out, and your son is walking around with his shirt tied with his belly button out, with high heels on.
And like the elder was saying, that's the democracy, man. It's basically the wine that everybody drinks of in this wicked kingdom. Because on the way over here, on the way to camp, I was walking, and I seen some Ishmaelites. His girls all covered up, hair wrapped and stuff like that. He was walking next to me, and I'm just thinking, I wonder how he could deal, of course they heathens, like they come up a different way, obviously, because she's all, dressed up in modest apparel. But here it is, she walking around and he walking around, they seeing all these, like the elder said,
they're in America.
Cleavage,
Just to add on to your point, over there, in those Iraqi countries, those Ishmaelite lands, they stone, those people that, get out of order.
Hey, some girl just got out of order in India. All right, she was doing something. Did you see that? And how the 400 men had her butt naked on the street, manhandling and touching and feeling on her, and passing her back and forth for 7 hours. So, she basically the carousel rolled her. Because you best believe out of those 400 men for 7 hours, she probably got popped about 30 or 40 times at minimum. Maybe even more than that. Right? Because they had her naked for 7 hours, man. 7 hours. So you own these 400 men.
You did a whole shit.
So and she all torn up because a woman can only produce so much fluid. So she got dry,
Yep. It was a wrap for her.
Yeah, once she dried up.
Yeah, but she wanted that, so that's what she got. That's right.
Yeah, well, and where did she learn that from? She was doing that because why? She was influenced by America.
Shit,
right?
Not too long ago, I want to say like 2 or 3 years, I think it was like an Ishmaelite. He had 3 daughters over here, and I guess he word of mouth, or he must have seen them on the internet.
He found out
that they was being harlots and shit, or being little hoes over here. He came over here and killed all 3 of them.
Put them to death.
And then they, what's that when you get arrested and they send you back to your country?
Yeah, he had diplomatic immunity. He got sent back to his country where there was nothing done to him because he was within the law. Because you got to think about it. Ishmael are Hebrews too, and they follow the Quran, and the Quran is really based off the Bible. So a lot of punishments that are in the Bible are also in the Quran. All right, and that's why they women. Because low-key, it was Israelites that set up the Quran to try to get Ishmael to leave Jerusalem and follow Muhammad to Mecca, but it backfired. It backfired, and Muhammad decided that he was going to take Mecca and keep Jerusalem too. That's what started the Holy Wars. All right?
Yeah, but he ended up going back over there, and he was like damn near a celebrity and
shit.
Because
exactly.
And he was righteous too.
He went home. He went home, and he got rid of because why? He corrected a wickedness that all those men see and don't like. You think like the what's that chick name? Claim. Yeah, there you go. You already knew what I was talking about.
Yep.
She can't leave America. Because see, in America, she can be as slutty as she wants. But she go back to her, they already let her know. You know, she's defiled. You know.
Bro, you brought shame upon your father's house.
Yeah.
Your father's name.
Her brothers, her cousins.
Her country.
Yeah, any man in her family will probably be the first one to come upon her and put a knife in her, man.
Right. Any Khalifa.
She can't, Right, she all on film, getting stretched out by, you know,
wearing the attire of
double
the
BBCs,
women over there.
right, all kind of shit. You know? Matter of fact, did she even make any movies when she was getting banged by Esau? It's like all her movies was her getting banged by Jake. You know, and then we're gonna find them horse Jakes too.
Yeah.
You know, them abnormal Jakes.
Esau get a kick out of that, man. Converting things, turning people out of the way, causing people to stumble. You know, putting that
and then Jake gonna mimic that shit, man.
Yeah.
They gonna mimic that. They go get high, they get drunk, and then you know they be running trains on brawls, all kind of wickedness like that. And then these women be down for that shit.
Esau started that shit, man. He started. And Scripture says when Alexander the Great, you know, was set up, you know, the first to reign in Greece, man. Hey, wickedness started to multiply even more.
That's right, and
that's what Esau been in power since then, man.
I'm telling you, Spartacus gives you a great, and it even tells you when it comes on, it gives you a warning, and it tells you that how graphic it is, and that it is a true depiction of Roman and Grecian life. So it's all manner of whoredoms, orgies, and gay shit going on. Bestiality, murders, and blood, man. That's all them Greeks were about, man.
In that movie, I think it's called Haunted House with like Marlon Wayans.
Oh, yeah,
he was in a hot tub with his wife Freddie. He's all like, "Yeah, you want to bang my wife and I'll record it?" He's like, "What? I'm just joking. You know, maybe we could trade and I will have your wife." What are you talking about? I'm just kidding around.
The brother just read it. The spirit that's in him is not upright, man, but the just shall live by faith. Israelite spirit is not with that shit, man. But dealing with the devil and the wicked, you get perverted. Not listening to Yahweh Shema Shah and taking heed unto his ways, you don't have no hedge, man.
And in that movie, his in the garage, he had like all those Judite dudes getting stretching her out, doing the game thing on her.
Her thug ass cousins had in the garage on the pool table, right? You know, and they were down with it. That's what she wanted, and that's what her weird ass husband wanted all along, man. All right, and she was down with it. All right.
Right.
I got you.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Psalm chapter 12, verse 8. It says, "The wicked walk on every side, when the valiant men are exalted." You know, and they just going into what the brothers is going into, man. You know, here it is, Esau Edom. You know, he's pushing out all this wickedness on the people, man. You know, in the media, so forth and so on, glamourifying it, man. You know, and that's in a sense enchantments and witchcraft, man. Because here it is, then the people they see these things. All right, he promotes it as being okay, so forth and so on. And they take it like the elder said. Now they want to do a orgy. Now they want to do have a women want to have trains wearing on them, so forth and so on, dressed like whores, man. All right, you know.
Yeah, you'd be amazed how many women have done that and are down with that, having multiple guys run up in them. You'd be amazed, man.
It's a fantasy form.
Yep. Even if they say, "Oh, I want that one time," over a period of time, it don't matter. Whether one time over a period of time, it's still
and if they did it,
if
they did it once, they did it twice.
Yep.
And if they did it twice, they do it again, and Esau can't have that.
yeah.
He smoked on that.
Like it says, Job 9:24, the earth's given into the hands of the wicked. So they're gonna be promoting that wickedness.
Yeah, con. Right?
I just got one more comment. It's Sirach chapter 10, verse 2. Matter of fact, verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of the prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of men the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. You know? And people wonder why all this wickedness is basically accepted, man. Because the rulers of this place basically promotes it and accepts it, man. Yeah. So these people, they that's all they see, man. All right, you know, that's all they see is wickedness, 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 man. All right, you know, although it's in a spirit, you know, through the spirit, probably everybody's trying to shot because 2/3 of our people are just wicked, and then these heathens, you know, they don't have the law to be wicked, man. But for the most part, if righteousness was promoted, then these people, for the most part, would, you know, flock into righteousness. But this is just a wicked society, man. Promoted by Esau, Edom. So, as the ruler is, so is the people, man. You know, that's the role. That's, you know, the society that, you know, we live in, man. That's why the Lord has to come back and set up righteousness as the law. You know, destroy the wicked, man. You know?
Yeah, because back in the ancient times, say if you had a rebellious child, you were supposed to put him to death, and you were supposed to do it in front of the congregation, so everybody could see it, so they could fear, and you put away evil from among the people.
Yeah,
here they promote that shit.
The other kids saw it, and the mother and father were the ones who threw the first stone. You didn't hit your mother, talk back to your father, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and you unruly, and they can control you. They would take your little ass out before the congregation and get rid of you, man. And that would make the other children fall in line, man.
Things in this society is reversed. You actually had the parents, you know, scared of the children.
Because you got children that know how to work the system. They'll call DCFS on their own parents, man.
My sister said that to my
All right?
mom.
There you go. These children are, man, they something else, man. Hey, the scripture said that mischievous women shall bring forth monsters in the last days. And these kids are monsters, man.
And that's the wild
Right?
part.
Well, how do you expect? Look at the example that they get. All right? Look at the example that they get, man. For a male figure over. All right?
His ass all exposed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So what mindset are they gonna have, man? All right? But going back to these bullet points, man. All right, it says feudal military adventurism squanders its resources. It's all empires in decay. And so we were talking about, you know, how Rome and Greece fell, all right, and they were in decay, man. They were in complete and total decay. And they're the largest producer of arms. We talked about that already. And the biggest violators of human rights abroad of America is while trampling on the rights of its own citizens. Look what's going on now, all right? Because I got a list of things, man, that the average American has no idea of. So let's see who's exempt. You know.
From group meet. Yeah.
So let's see who's exempt from
First aid.
while they forcing everybody else to get first aid. All right. While everybody's being forced to get first aid, here's a list of employers not requiring their employees to get first aid. All right. The White House, the CDC, the FDA, the WHO,
World Health Organization.
all right, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. Did you people hear that?
No.
All right, we'll go down that list again. The White House, the CDC, the FDA, the WHO, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. So all those people are while they're giving out first aid, they don't have to take it.
Exactly.
So basically, once again, it's another example of tossing the democracy grenade on families and people. Democracy.
Right, everybody got to do the jump shot, but they don't have to do the jump shot.
Right.
Exactly.
Then it says the next thing that I wrote down was is they're trampling on the civil rights and freedoms of its own citizens. Right, by matter of fact, let me look at something else. Because there's a difference between, look, a mandate is not a law. So Americans don't understand that you have laws that are set up over you. All right.
Yep.
And if someone violates those laws over you, you can appeal that. All right. Just so you know.
Right, under the First Amendment, you have the freedom of speech, freedom to peacefully gather, and it says redress grievances against the government. So actually the people are the ones who get to decide who governs over them. They get to have a redress over the shit that they don't like that's going on, but these people don't even know that shit.
Right, so just so we clear, I'm gonna give you some key words that are not law. Mandatory, that's not law. Required, that's not law. Mandated, that's not law. Ordered, that's not law. Ordinance, not a law. Decree, not a law. Compulsory, not a law. So at the end of that, really what they're saying is you really don't have to comply. Because if you go before any judge, all right, they arrest you for not complying to a mandate, all right? Once you get into the court of law, all you have to do is ask, well, what law did I violate? A mandate isn't a law. So they're gonna have to rewrite and add these things to law in order to really, you see what I'm saying?
But see, what they could do though to get rid of the whole Constitution is do their little false flag shit, and then that's when they can declare martial law and the Constitution is suspended.
Well, they want to bring back like it's like the what do you call it? The Patriot Act. So Americans don't understand, man, how dangerous a game that these people are playing with you. When you got people so bugged out that they're on the street in air, well, I won't say fresh air, but in the air outside, and you covering up your respiratory system, which is directly connected to your immune system. All right, and you want to know why you're getting sick? It's the crap they spraying in the skies. Look at the trees. Half these trees have no life on them. Been talking about it all summer. The trees have no life on them. Many of them are faded up like it's October already. You got trees that are completely dead all over America. This just isn't in Chicago. That's that crap that they spray in the skies, and it comes down with the rain and it kills the trees. So the trees got half the life on them, and nobody's paying a damn attention. Your trees right in front of you got half the life on them. The trees are directly connected to your damn respiratory system. You breathe out carbon dioxide, they breathe it in and put back out fresh air. Right? And so if the trees are sick and dying, what's going to happen to the people? It's directly connected to your immune system.
And on top of that, when you wear the muzzle over your face, you're breathing out the carbon dioxide and you're rebreathing it back in.
Right.
That makes your blood turn the oxygen that flows through your bloodstream. It turns it to more acidic, which causes more diseases.
And which weakens your immune system. It could actually drive your blood pressure up. All right, and it weakens your immune system. All right, you're supposed to be able to breathe freely, man.
Yeah. And also they got these 5G towers, the radiation also.
That too.
I got a precept. This is the book of Isaiah 10:1. Born to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Right. This society is about passing wicked laws, different things like that.
That's right.
Taking the rights away from people. These people think they still got rights, like as the elder mentioned.
I want to back you up.
Go ahead, brother.
This Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and that's why they passed unrighteous laws and decrees. That's why they're allowing all these things to be as they are, out of order, perverse. Like all the list that he named off, man, the FDA, which regulates what you eat and drink. They say you eat this BS, but the FDA also regulates all the natural herbs, all the natural medicines, and holistic healings. But they give the majority, they give the public the madness. Meanwhile, the royal families, the top elites, they deal with physicians. They deal with holistic healings, natural herbs, but they like to push their wicked agenda, their pharmaceutical witchcraft onto the public, man. And that's because Brother read it. Esau Edom is the border of wickedness, man. Esau Edom is ruler right now. So Esau Edom is going to be promoting all this madness, all these lies. And that's what Esau Edom is known to do. And that's why Yahweh Shem Shai is coming to cut him off, because Yahweh Shem Shai is that true physician, man. And it says, he covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? And you know, Esau Edom, he's also known for whitewashing things. You know, when he came into power, he done that, you know, to keep on push forward and making his lies.
Well, he covered up
witchcraft going.
He covered up the face of the judges, man. All right, he put himself above the stars of heaven. The stars of heaven are the Israelites.
Right.
All right, that's what he did.
I got two real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And these like the elder was saying, these mandates, these ordinances which aren't laws, you know, they're unrighteous decrees.
Yeah.
All right. And then I got another one in Revelations 18:23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, talking about Babylon, America, when it gets destroyed. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee.
Yeah, well, not only that light meaning understanding too. Like the world used to look to America for leadership, now the world is laughing at us.
Yeah.
All right? Because we clearly don't have a good leadership. The world is in dire need of new management. All right? Because the scriptures clearly claim that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And he covered the faces of the judges thereof. And the judges that are ruling over the earth truly are the wicked, man. And they need to be replaced. All right? And the Lord is about to replace them.
It says, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So when you go into that word sorceries, which is pharmakia,
Yep.
G5332,
And the medicines are all the pharmaceuticals.
it tells you the use or the administering of drugs,
There it is.
poisoning,
Yeah.
sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it, the deception and seduction of idolatry. Ultimately, pharmakia, which would be your pharmaceuticals, you know, it's poisoning. He's poisoning the people with it. And he deceived the nations with that.
Can you call that out one more time?
Revelations 18 and that was 23.
Somebody
That's the precept to Galatians.
I might as well read 24. It says, and in her were found the blood of the prophets and saints and of all that were slain upon the earth.
Ooh, that's a perfect. You said that, because here's the next bullet point. It says the largest prison system in the world, and shoot down the citizens, which we know that's the Israelites. Because
Right.
Edomites ain't getting shot down. It's Jake. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, they get shot down. All right, in the streets. All right. So somebody get that Isaiah 42 and 22. Pop the shot. All right. And then the next thing is that this place has been at war 225 years of its 243-year existence. But you think that God blesses this place. Jeremiah said it right when he said, God damn America. The Lord, ain't no God bless America. The Lord has damned this place. This place is wicked as hell, man.
Bless it with some fire.
Right?
What about it?
I got it right here. This is Isaiah 42, verse 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They, all of them, snared in holes.
Wait, so the Bible predicted that there will be a group of people snared in prison holes by a crooked system that railroads them off, man. It's telling you right here in the Bible. Read it again.
It says Isaiah 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes.
So this is a condition of the Israelites, man. Ain't no Israelis snared in no holes, man. They don't make, ain't no whole bunch of dudes with the curls on the side of their head, you know, all up in the prison system. You know?
Bro, that's how they be dead.
I actually got to back up what's over.
All right? Matter of fact, they're the lawyers and the judges that are railroading you to prison. You know, you can't be the victim and the villain, man. That they're the victim villains, because then they always scream victim, like everybody's oppressing them. Ain't nobody oppressing them at all. They're oppressing everyone else.
The
Go
Lord
ahead.
calls this place the oppressive city. Go ahead.
And like the elder was going into, hey, that word sneer basically goes into basically like something attractive, man. That basically brings them, you know, deceptively attractive. You know, that brings them to those holes, man. And what Esau even do, man? They put the guns and the drugs in the communities, man. You know, hey, they know Jake is poor, man. All right. Hey, so what? Then what Jake gonna do, man? They gonna try and find a way to get some type of money.
Oh shit! I just seen a little short clip where the guy, he got out of prison. He said, while I was in prison, they had me working like chopping down trees and cleaning up, doing like cleanup shit. I was getting paid like $1.50 a day.
Yeah.
He's like, I was working for the prison for years, getting paid $1.50 a day, doing chopping down trees, doing cleanup work around the city. Now when I'm out of jail, they won't hire me to do the same damn job that I was doing for $1.50 a day.
Right,
in
and
prison.
he got skills. He's right, but because now it's going to require him to get $15 to $20 an hour. So it's a bunch of hypocrites, man.
It's a billion-dollar
because
industry.
he supposedly paid his debt to society. He got locked up. You see, these people are just hypocrites because they all about forgiveness, love, teaching that love doctrine shit. All right, but yet you railroad a man off to a prison in a corrupt system in the first damn place. All right, read that scripture again, brother.
This is Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses."
Right, so they're hidden prison houses, man. That's the condition of the Israelites. Ain't no Israelis, ain't no fake Jews up in no prison houses. They're the lawyers and the judges that are sending you to the prison houses. All right, read.
It says, "They are for a prey, and none delivereth."
And nobody's delivering them, man. And even after they do their time, they get out and then they done got skills, they got educated, whatever. Like he said, the dude was cutting and trimming trees for $1.50, using heavy equipment and all. He got all kind of skills. Now he get out and he can't get a job doing the same thing he was doing for $1.50. But see, now they got to pay him $15, $20 an hour to do that, and they don't want to pay him. All right, so they'll make life so hard so he'll just mess around and get caught right up back in the drug game that they set up and end up right back in the prison. And now he's doing the same work again for $1.50 again.
I got
Go ahead, brother, bring it out.
This is the book of Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We are still in captivity. The idea of freedom. As a matter of fact, it's so bad now that even these damn devils ain't in captivity. That's why you got grown people walking around with muzzles on their face. All right, because they don't have they can't think for their damn selves, man. All right, and they believe that everything that's said on the TV is true, not doing any research or asking any questions, man. And how as soon as you start talking, looking what's around you, look how the trees are faded up, and half the trees in not only in Chicago but everywhere have no life on them. Your respiratory system is directly connected to the trees. Look at them. Look at them. They're half dead, man. Yeah. That's a major part of the problem, right there. That shit they spray in the sky every damn day, man. Especially before the rain, and it brings it down, and this is what it does. It's killing the vegetation, man. And the vegetation is how we get our oxygen. All right? So you got a respiratory pandemic at the same time that you got dead trees and half dead trees from New York to California. All right? Because in every state it's the same damn thing. It's not just Chicago. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
people on my videos telling me, hey, the same thing out in California. I had a dude on the comment board telling me, and you ever seen the California redwoods? They're amazing, man. You got 1,000-year-olds treated. You got trees so thick, they as wide as this thing right here.
They built the damn.
And the same thing. Go right ahead, bro. And the same thing is happening to those trees, man. All right.
That's why a lot of people be having allergies too. You know, sniffling, coughing.
That's what the Lord said. What's that in Revelation? He's going to destroy them that destroy the earth.
He's going to destroy them that destroy the earth, man.
This man done fracked the earth to hell, drilled all the damn oil out. All right, like the brother said, chemtrails in the air. All right, he doesn't give the land rest. You're supposed to have a land Sabbath. All right, he's depleting the earth of its natural resources.
That's right.
So when you see these crazy weather patterns and earthquakes and certain things, it's like taking the oil out of a car engine. The
and then trying to drive it.
Right.
The engine gonna get overheat, and the engine block is gonna crack, man.
Exactly.
All right. The engine is gonna and see but that, you know what? Like what you said, man. He's ruining the earth. Why? Because he doesn't teach what's in the scriptures, man. All right. He's not teaching the laws, man. There is a land Sabbath, man.
Right.
Because and you go to church and they teach you that the laws are done away with. The laws are not done away with. All right.
I got one real quick. Just quoted it. Revelations 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give his reward unto thy servants, the prophets.
Right, so the prophets are going to get their reward for doing this work, man. The Lord said he's not going to forget our labors, man. Roughly paraphrasing.
Right.
Go ahead.
And to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great.
And the only people that fear the name small and great, literally are the Israelites, man. And not all Israelites, the only ones that are calling on the name of Yahweh Bashem Shai. And not all of them, because some of them are false prophets. They doing it for fame, glory, and for filthy lucre's sake. Or both. All right? Because you got guys that try to use this truth as a platform to elevate themselves and not elevate Yahweh Shai, man.
Making rap videos and ain't came out in years.
Right.
Reality TV. This is reality. This is the reality show, man. This is the script. Right here, what we're doing exactly now, going to the highways and byways and bidding them into the marriage, whether they want to hear it for bear, man. That's right. All right?
Right.
Hey, matter of fact, that Baruch says in the land of their captivities, they should remember themselves, and it said we were subject to payments. So
right.
we in fucking hell. This is a prison. Hey, Babylon the Great itself is one big-ass prison system, man.
And what that uses extreme usury.
Yep.
On top of that.
Yep. And it says, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Well, he's going to destroy them which destroy the earth, man.
Right now, when you count the fingers on your hand, look all around the world. What one man can be blamed for destroying the earth? Not the Chinese, not the Japanese, all right? Not Russia.
Yeah,
not
because the Chinese and Japanese did not drop nuclear bombs on themselves.
Well, I'll say this though, because the other nations are drunken with the wine.
Right, they fuck it up too.
So, shit, because over there in China, they got a whole bunch of pollution
That's
too.
Smart. That's smart.
But they learned it from Esau.
They followed behind Esau and then they elevated it.
Yep.
All right? And that's why they mad, because it's like, we done follow behind you. All right? Because guess what? They were really, when you learn, you know, the dude that helps me with all my law stuff is a little kung fu master, man, and he's Judah. All right? He's a kung fu master. The brother speaks Cantonese and Mandarin.
Oh, damn.
Right? He could talk. He could. Well, almost any Chinese person, he could stop and just have a conversation. I've seen him do it, and they be shocked, you know. And the women be wooed too.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, but you're right. Either Cantonese or Mandarin. You know, because he'll be like, well, what's dialect, and then he'll switch to that.
Right.
All right, and he be having straight conversations with them, man. All right, but the Chinese medicine, even though some of the ingredients might be wicked as hell, but they were all about using the earth plants and roots and things like that. Now what are they doing? They're following behind
Sleazy Eves.
They's following behind Esau Edom, man. And they using that oil-based, petroleum-based medicines, man. And petroleum-based medicines give people cancer.
I got a precept for the one Banya brought out. This is Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.
Yep.
And
let me just say this real quick. And America's about to languish badly too, because you got to understand, the funny thing is that America's in this conflict with China, but most of America's it get almost, I think, something like 80% of the drugs that are imported, the ingredients for the drugs for their pharmaceuticals is coming from China, man.
Yep.
So once China cut them, look, it's just like Capo said in this video, man. The ingredients for the drugs, the ingredients for alcohol is coming up short. You got a lot of shortages, man. And since this pandemic, the two things that people have been relying on to get them through it has been the opioid-based drugs, fentanyl, and alcohol. And now those things are going to get way pricey, or you're just not going to have them. And so you're going to have a lot of pissed off Americans, withdrawal, angry ass Americans. And like we said, there's more firearms in America than there are people. So what do you think's going to happen, man? All right, and they're preparing for these blackouts. So what do you think's going to happen when these blackouts come? The shortage of the opioid drugs, the shortage of the alcohol, the shortage of goods and services, and blackouts, and a bunch of angry Americans that can't get their drugs. These people are gonna snap.
It's gonna be like in that video you did. It's all like, my name's Brody, and I got a bald ass head. You gonna take your shit?
Right, Big Brody gonna be out in the parking lot, right in the right, taking all your groceries, man.
Talking about
Brody don't pay for shit. I got a bald head.
talking about shortages, you know, was a few videos talking about how basically pharmacists destroying their own crops, you know, given by the government.
So food shortages. Yeah, brother, it's getting ready, and I can't wait. It can't happen fast enough.
I'll say this, because I be in the grocery stores, mainly like a Jules and Mariano's. There's water shortages there. The managers, I hear them talking to the sales rep, telling them bring us. Normally they do like truck to shelf with a couple of cases in the back room. Now they're telling them bring me in pallets of water because they know they're running out of water. So now they're starting to bring in what they have, which really before they used to bring in like 4 or 5 whole pallets of water. Now they're only holding 1 pallet back there.
There it is, man. And then
the show can't hold it.
They're also instructing the people to spread the product out, and then to set up construction things in the store that we're better in this than the other to make it not look so empty because of the shortages.
They call it facing up the items, face it up. So you pull it from the back and you face it up to the front to make it look full. But I got one more in Isaiah 24:5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. Like you were going into, the laws are not done away with.
Right, they've broken all the laws of the Bible, but yet they're supposed to be a Bible-based country. All right, they break it. They swear you in on the Bible in court, then throw the Bible behind them.
Right. Esau, because it's the instruction behind it. What has that to do with my statutes and commandments?
I always got these alphabet terrorist organizations on TV looking for terrorists when they the goddamn terrorists.
Biggest terrorists.
Like we said, man. 243 years of existence, all right, and they've been at war with other nations as the aggressors. 225 years of it. Nobody's ever attacked America. Soldiers have never stormed the beaches of America, you know, and ran in and started kicking in doors and snatching people up and that shit. But America has done that, has been doing that for 225 years. But yet they're looking for terrorists.
There is a video, a documentary somebody did where that whole ISIS shit, where they were doing they were doing the whole beheading shit. But what the guy pointed out was some of the members all had that one tattoo, where when you do the research on that tattoo, went back to like a Navy SEAL team, and like it was them that were posing as terrorists.
Well, like we said, Israeli secret intelligence service. The guy, you know, up and said it, because I'm sure some of them were Mossad too. All right, Mossad, SEALs. What they did, took a bunch of Edomites, and grew out big ass beards, put on all the dress, and they running around like that's why they were over there destroying all those artifacts that were showing you, all those ancient artifacts that were showing you the Israelites and the people of the fervent crest as being people of color. All right, that's why when they Iraq, they were destroying all those because all those images were showing you black people as the so-called dark races of people as the ancient people of the Middle East. That's why they were destroying. That's why they were doing that, man.
Relics.
They were destroying all those relics to try to hide and cover up that history, man.
This is the book of Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Right. So clearly, the people are mourning. So that means the wicked are ruling. All right.
2nd Ezra 6.
And it's funny too how Esau Edom will brag about how the white man this, the white man that, the white man this, but it said, oh, so y'all are ruling. Well, right. All of a sudden, when it says the wicked bear rule, all of a sudden that ain't them.
Right. So Job 9:24. Covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, we're in place. All right. It's Esau Edom. Right, this man done went across the whole world and conquered. That's the same thing Rome did, which proves that this place is the second leg of ancient Rome. The same system. And obviously back then,
Yeah,
that
she
system
gave me
didn't
eye
work.
contact over there. She was
So
already.
guess what? That system ain't gonna work here. According to Malachi, the 1st chapter, though you build up, the Lord said what? I will destroy. All right. So that stone that was cut without is about to get ready and smash these damn toes, man. And everything's gonna come crumbling down, man.
And it is coming down. It's coming down for Esau Edom. Real quick, man. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up.
Come.
Give me that Job 27 and 15.
Right.
That woman turned her head sideways, looked through you, and she made eye contact with me. And then she got right here. She said, "What's up, gentlemen?" But she still eyeballing directly.
It was like
on
she
me,
did
man.
one of those,
Right.
like how the ladies
Go ahead,
did back in
brother.
the
This
day.
is the book of Job 27 and, you said 15?
Yeah.
This is the book of Job 27 and 15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep.
And his widow should not weep, man. These Edomite women are ready, man. Because in their spirit, they know that this place is going down. It ain't nothing I can do for her. I claimed her. But I'm gonna see her. She can't go on a chariot. Ain't nothing I can do for you. You know?
1,000 years of BBC.
And then that's pretty much it. And I'm like Elder Uriah, man. When we get to the kingdom, all my Edomite, all my heathen concubines still got to go to the field one day a week.
That's right.
They still got to go out there and work their ass off in the field one day a week, all right, and be out there with their people and with the heathens, man. Like the Lord is getting them ready, man.
Getting them ready.
The Lord is getting them ready, man.
Can't take their eyes off of us.
All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Numbers 31 in verse 17. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill, it says, and kill every woman that have known men by laying with him.
Right?
But all women, children that have not known a man by laying with him, keep alive for yourselves.
Right? There it is, man. So the virgins, all right, there it is.
Yep.
There it is. Hey, so with that, man, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Karkadash.
Wa Abba Ball.
Abba Ball.